Hello, and welcome back to more Hytale, building Castle Suckgore. It's me, Hero of the Heart, or Keko Comics, and let's see, I was giving people some tours of the map last night. Other than that, we left off doing the second half of the basement layer of the castle. I might do the dungeons right after that. We'll see how it all goes. So, yes, I may need the dungeons to be particularly enforced as well. Or reinforced even. Don't need my weapons. I probably can... yeah, whatever. Right, so... that's the kitchen. And turn on my Fulbright again so I can see. So that everyone can see. I'll probably be redoing the crystal light coloring because I just copied all the structure and stuff in here so far from the floor above. And so we begin. Okay. So these are going to be specialized rooms that kind of want to obey their own rules a little bit. And okay. So we'll be making the walls like so. Ah. Alright. So it's a training room. And we probably don't even want pillars necessarily. Okay, so it's going to have a doorway here. And we want this one to be, you know, a bit open. Since you can just kind of walk in and out and everything. And probably not even be overly organized. So yeah, open up so that you have quick access in and out. You don't have to mess around too much. Okay, how to lay this out? I might actually want to go ahead and do something like this. Alright. Okay. Oh, not forget here. Probably should have gone this way anyhow. Alright. So it doesn't need to be anything particularly massive. The main thing is probably like probably have some sort of a barrel vaulting in here. Just because that might be easier than trying to do any other method. We'll have a we'll see how it turns out because like let's see what the spacing here is like. So yeah, it's not gonna line up on the. It's not gonna line up the way we would want to on the grid. Because even that direction is a little messy. Okay. We'll get to there in a second because we also need to do. Actually, let's grab that there. And now we also do have a little bit of a complication since how do I want to divide these rooms laterally. And that much I don't really know just yet. All I do know is that the rooms are currently divided laterally throughout most of this part of the castle, and I may want to have these particular rooms, you know, matching that to some degree. I'm holding the Alt key. I'm holding the Alt key, by the way. Thank you. Okay, so this is gonna be probably Forge and Armory both. Or I could have the Armory be upstairs, I don't know. Layout is important and do gotta think about it. Also, I will probably have to mod in unique doors for the dungeons at a later point. I also want to do something like this here. And mirror it over here, because that way it emphasizes it. Do just like that on me, please. Don't. Alright. So we can walk through here, and yeah, it's got that moonlit coloring on the lighting right now. It's not ideal for this area, but we'll fix that later. So here we're gonna want let me see. I'm still not really sure how I even want to lay this out just yet. Other than I'll probably want... So, yeah, save the magic for the other side. But yeah, this is definitely where we're going to be tackling arms and armaments, just in general. Might actually... Let's see, because... Alright, that is an appropriately thick wall, and we probably want to have these furnaces, you know, against a thick wall, so that we can, at the very least, pretend like they're able to, let's see, how many furnaces do we even want? I think 4 might be ideal. And then, well, right? Probably line up a bit better this way though. And then we're not really able to neatly do any chimney sort of thing here, other than like that. So... Okay. I can at least pretend that the chimneys might be, you know, feeding into somewhere. maybe. And then, let's see. I mean, it might be, well, why are you hold there? I missed, okay. So then, let's see. I think we'll try and keep the spacing more or less clean relative to the furnaces. And we don't really need to LARP about any chimneys being here or whatever. Probably go more like this. Because yeah, the only other way to rearrange this side of the wall would be to have the furnaces, they'd simply require... Hang on. Can you grab the right side of the... Thank you. Okay, so it may be a little bit cramped. That's what we've got space for. And, right, these need to be replaced if we want to interact with them. Oh, and we can shut that off, and then here we can put in the armoring benches. Okay. Let's see. Right. And what else can I do in here? Because, I mean, it would make sense to actually have the anvils more, you know, in the middle here, but because they already have a rack of weapons behind them for some reason, I might as well just keep them against the wall. Let me come back and do this all over later. I don't know. I might actually go and also have a second set of these. No, I can't really do that, can I? Let me try and move these then. Move these out of the way. I'll just have to replace the. You know, this is more about like the actual like structure of the place, and also just trying to like make everything line up neatly. So if I grab it like this, okay, and then I could make the corner here connect at least a little bit, and then we can have the put these over. Mind? Okay. Okay, I think that should be fine. And we can do a similar thing this way. Alright, so now we replace the workbenches again. No, wrong one. Okay, so the reason we're able to, we want to set up more like this, and then we can, right, we can drag you over here, grab this, Put that there. So what we're doing is we're going around and I actually want to raise this portion up. Because what this is going to let us do is we're going to be able to use this to connect the wall features together seamlessly in a way that might even be appealing. I don't know if I can get away with doing a pillar there, though. Well, you know what? Screw it. Pillars it is, I guess. Alright, so now we try and... Well, we grab this, drag it over, put that there. Okay, so that's got space for free. I am forgetting my button combinations ever so slightly. Don't mind me. Alright, and then bring you there. And now we're going to have a space about here. So that gives us essentially the dimensions of this room and its structure. Okay. It may be a little bit uneven, but I'm just gonna have the cookie crumbles a little bit. But we've got it works out in the end. Somewhat. Alright. And everything works. Good. And now we can copy this over. Okay, at this point, now our main thing is we do kind of want to have... Ooh, right. Let's not forget about this. So we may not even be able to have a proper pillar structure necessarily. That's fine. There's at least a proper internal structure, just not going to be able to get away with having it all be pillars, except for maybe here specifically. I might also just do that. Because remember, people may not see what's in the hidden parts of the floor, but that's still something that matters, I would say. All right, now we just need to figure out how to justify the structure in here. And this may be a little kooky. I might even have to put some sort of central pillar in there just to hold things up. I don't know yet. Okay, so... because we can't really do extra pillaring in here, can we? Can at least broaden it out a bit. Okay, we've got something of a pattern coming around here, so now we can start to put things into place. Might be a little rough, but we'll manage. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this might be rough. Okay, and we can actually do... that's where it starts to look awkward, unfortunately. Oh well. I mean, I could also just meld all that together. Or I can do that. At that point, might as well just make it do that. And here comes the airplane with my window open because I actually kind of want to have cool air coming in. Oh well. Oh yeah, and then... Right, so that means I can actually go a little bit more like that. I probably should just focus one side and then just copy-paste job, like usual. Okay. So, not a barrel here, but that's fine. That's fine. Right. I'm gonna be wanting to do something like this. Ooh. Like that. I think we do just kind of gotta go it like this. Kind of? No. What? Oh. Not perfect, but it's what we've got. I can probably, like, put in crystal fixtures. Kind of. Alright. Drag it over here. And now we can just connect this. And it's more or less done. Right, and probably should also include some chests. So I'll probably figure out some sort of storage thing later. I don't exactly have plans for making the castle like proper survival friendly or anything necessarily, because it's supposed to serve a different function. That said, I think for now I might just copy this and then revisit the room later. Wait. And there I go. Oh, okay. Alright, there's the hole I punched. There. So that'll have to do for the time being. I'm probably not going to bridge the upper levels like I did elsewhere. Maybe I could, but I'm not really inclined to do so. At least not at the moment. Especially given the amount of headspace you kind of get here. I don't know. We'll see. Alright. I'm probably not going to bother with carpets in this section of the castle, just because it's not really a formal part of the castle. I might do it anyway, I don't know. But this is like a much more military portion of the castle. I may go ahead and just do it regardless, I don't know. Haven't really gotten that far yet. And currently I'm doing this, so it's still at least a little decorative. Okay, so now the last really two parts of this quadrant is the training hall. And the dungeon entrance. Oh, yeah, this room. Which I will figure out, of course, in due time. Alright, so I guess one thing I could do is force them to have to go up to this level and then come out, but I'm not really thinking about that just yet, because I want to get this over with. So, let's see. What types of things do we already have available for training equipment decorations? Let's see here. We've got hey target, a training dummy. I'm not really sure I can get away with doing a snowman. I probably need to actually just go and make like proper wall fixtures. Would be my main thing that I'm missing here. Probably also want somewhere to sit. And I might also use some shelves in here. And as per usual, I'm gonna stick almost certainly with crystal lighting. Goblin Throne. Fawn Stool. Okay, so gonna have this. I think I should have since we've got a very limited space in here, I should probably keep archery separated from actual, like, on the ground, melee training sort of a thing. Okay, so let's see. I will probably want to have some amount of separation between floors. So this side isn't too hard to do. The question is the spacing here. So that wants to be, let's see, this door frame wants to be like that, and can't easily separate it that direction. Alright, so main thing is find the middle. And it looks like it's probably going to be an even number, which is going to... That's a pain in the ass. So we've got... Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So with that separation, that means we've got... Let's see, we can go with 6s. Wait, that's a 7. Okay. Maybe I move the door frame here? Or... Well, we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. For now, I think just... Yeah. Get it put together at all. And then figure out the best spot for a door frame. Right. So if we put the door frame here, that's gonna be like that. Okay, I think that might be the best spot for it. Alright. Oh, right. Oh. Okay. Alright, so I will probably not repeat the same door frame structure on the floor above. What I'm mostly doing here is, so this is a training hall. And essentially what's going on is I'm using this as a place where... Let's see, let me line this up real quick. So, if we're thinking about someone trying to escape from the dungeons here, you know, even if they appear from like up here, they have no reason to go that way or that way. If I have a bridge there, they would have some reason to go this way, but it would probably be more perilous than simply going down this way. Ooh, I don't need the pillar there because it's not going to connect to the ceiling. So they go down this way, and now their exit options are, you know, or even if they start from here, basically they have two exit options. They go that way or that way. Now if they choose to go this way, yeah, they got the quarters in here, but you know, if you're at a point where no one's in their quarter rooms or anything, like they're off training in here, you know, you want the training hall to be open and accessible, you know, to all routes of escape. That way, if someone is trying to escape or even infiltrate and get into the dungeons to get someone out of there or anything like that, you'll have, you know, active, you know, combatants ready to go, hear the commotion, see what's going on, and immediately spring to action. So, yeah. And then it doesn't matter which direction they would go, they would have to go through here and get to up here. And yeah. Their only way out. Okay, this isn't their only way out, but for now I haven't actually made the river stuff. The river would probably be their fastest way out. If they don't mind getting wet and probably having to swim. Also, while we're at it here, so we can do that, and that's going to be on this level. It's the only way that even really needs to have a exit, because again, if they're coming out from here, then you know they're going to be close enough proximity to here. And sure, maybe up here it'd be faster to get into the training hall if you could just go in through the slide like down there. But number one, if I have this upper level be for archery, you don't want people just walking in from the sides, especially if you're trying to train for any amount of distance. And granted, not a lot of space to train proper distance archery because you've only got, let's see, how many meters of space to work with? About 20. And then, yeah. There's no point to actually having the doors up here compared to down here on the sides, because there's no escape route here. It's just a dead end. It's just a wall. All right, and then yeah. So let's go ahead and get the pillars going. I'll have plenty of seats, especially on this floor. Less so on this upper floor, because again, archery room. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and not even give it a balcony up here, because it's going to have to be dedicating the space to archery, and you don't want anything falling down. Plain and simple. All right. And let's see. Yeah, I probably should put pillars in here as well. In fact, probably just copy the entire floor plan more. Well, nah. What I can do instead is have it kind of connect like that at all the pillar locations. Okay. And then, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and probably do pillars like this a bit. Because you do need some space to move, but one, I kind of made this floor a bit cramped overall, and then two, like, let me think about how I'm gonna handle this. Not really a lot of room for barrel vaulting, especially if we want to make it go wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, so this is probably going to be a little cramped down here. The ideal spacing would probably be in measures of 5, but I didn't exactly open it up for that. Okay. So I think it's top priority to get the longest bits first. And actually, since we already have that layer, I probably should have done something similar in the other room, but since we already have this layer here, I could actually afford to do something a bit more like this. Then on this end, yeah. We do end up with having some actual space over our heads, but yeah, it's probably going to be still a little bit cramped in here. So, while this is probably going to be a bit of a training room, actually, I might want to space these pillars to the side a little. I don't know yet. Oh, right. Can't really go that direction just because of the cobblestone involved. So we gotta go more like that. I think let's get a little bit creative here, so you can do that. Alright. can grab all this and copy it around this way. No. Okay. Okay. Drag all this in. Let's see. So we gotta figure out all these uneven shapes and sizes. Oh no, that stays there. Maybe that way. Okay, I think that way, sure. And then it kind of just goes like that, and more or less something. I don't know, I think maybe more like even then. Yeah. Should be easier to handle on that end. Okay. This does also mean that some of these spots in the ceiling won't be able to neatly accommodate crystal light fixtures, but whatever. Can I scroll, please? Okay. And this one's probably going to be the most headache just because of the yikes. Let's see. I'm thinking probably something a bit more like this. And yeah, the overly even spacing, even numbered spacing even, is just kind of like, eh. Oh well. It might make it be like that though. Just so it has a little more character to it. Alright, you can go here. And now we've got these guys to deal with, as well as a similar situation to before. We'll tackle this one first. It's probably going to be a little bit more annoying, but we will at least have space to put in a proper fixture in the ceiling. And oh right, yeah, we probably don't have much choice but to go a bit like that. And then oh, then we probably can just go like this. Okay. And it's not even numbered. So we should just be able to get that going, and we can put a light fixture in there. Okay, that's less of a headache. And this side's gonna not have a proper light fixture either. That's awesome. Remember guys, even numbers can be really mean sometimes. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, right, so how was I doing it? Kind of like that, which makes sense. This needs to go long ways. Alright, I think that'll work out. Let me just grab that and drag it over. Make sure it's aligned properly. And now that's done. Okay. I can probably go ahead and also copy what I currently have in here. Double check that it's got everything. Alright, looks good. Boom. And we will need to, of course, go and fix it up down here. Okay. And actually, I think here specifically I will make this be a bit more like that. And yeah, it's a bit uneven, unfortunately. Not a whole lot I can really do about that, but you live with it. Alright, so we can have some benches here and here. And then benches here. So on this floor, I don't know why you've got an arrow sticking out of you, but whatever. You know, maybe this can be the sparring hall. So people have like a space where they are to learn more complex, you know, combat movements and stuff, working in a 3D space and everything. While up here can be more about let's see, put it in the back. Yeah, and up here we can also have, go ahead and use this. You can easily climb over these, so not the biggest deal in the world. That said, I may actually want to install a gate. It doesn't look like there's anything that's made out of stone. Although I guess that makes sense. Use a dark wood gate. Do these line up? Oh well. Oh. Do it like that. Okay. Sure, that works. And I think down here primarily... I'm not sure on the shelves yet. I'll look into that later, actually. For now, I think just, let's see. Yeah, getting fancy in the walls there isn't really gonna work out too well. Same here also. Because it's only one thick and it's not going to align on both ends of the wall. So I'm gonna do... I'm not sure if I'm going to... Well, okay, we can at least do... Let's turn off the Fulbright now. Sure. Right, I can't just do that. Let's get smaller crystals, shall we? Okay. Yeah, I'll change this lighting color. All right. And you know, I could have sworn that I went and filled everything in. Apparently not. Let's see. Okay. Right. Use yellow. I think there's probably going to be a lot of yellows in here, or even just reds. I'm not sure. This isn't exactly the most restful area. Try yellow for now. I can't make it completely alert because you will need some areas of respite. But generally speaking, yeah, this area is probably one of the most high alert areas and very militarily minded. It doesn't really go anywhere. I might actually just have to make a bridge there. Alright. So now we can turn back off the Fulbright. Right in here. Ah. Yeah, it's a little inconvenient. Okay, I know I just played... Did I... Give me a second. I must have hit E without Alt somehow. that right? Nope. Alright. Okay. So I can probably go like this then. Yeah, it's not even centered. Let me actually try with proper fixtures. Right, that's there at the very least. You know what? I can do fixturing here. It just might be a little bit weird, especially when that's a half slab, or well, a slab, but you know, half block. So green on the side, yellow in there. Not the most perfectly ideal spot for archery, but it's there. Okay, I'll probably try again with the smaller crystals, but for now, let's see. How about them next to each other? And probably just go with something like this. Okay. And I'm thinking for actually doing little crystals. Let's see. I mean, it's pretty clutter-free, and I don't have a lot of space or any particular spots I'd want to put them. Nevertheless, then again, I could make it all... I don't know. Yeah, I probably could do more yellow in the ceiling, actually. Yeah, yellow in the ceiling, but have smaller green crystals to give it a little bit more of a respiteful kind of, yeah, restful sort of feeling on the sides. So that would mean, like, if you would place, please. There we go. Am I gonna hit my head? It might be a little bit cramped for there. Actually, yeah, put that elevation. Okay. And then, yeah, similar thing up here, because you still want that sense of alertness. And then, yeah, here we go. Okay. I don't exactly have... Okay, you know what, I can do that. Stairs are lit. And aside from this room here, we're more or less done. I am kind of partial to the idea of making it have to go all the way up. Just a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I don't, because that'd be just a little exhausting and... Like, oh yeah, you make them walk a little extra... Oh... You know what, it may just be ideal. Alright, back to full bright. So... I just don't know how to justify, you know, the wasted space, because it's gonna be like... I mean, we're making full-size staircase. Oh! That might not be hard to justify after all. Because I can just make the so-called wasted space part of the structure. Okay. So we need to raise this up. And probably just make it support this entire ceiling up here, which will vastly be helpful for, you know. Alright, I'm thinking probably have the staircase go around this direction. And then... Right, so we want to... This way, please. So it's gonna be like that just entirely. Actually, yeah. Well, okay, I have to make it conform to a shape. A desired shape. Also gotta drag it all down too. Okay. Drag it down. All the way, please. Actually, I can just, dink. Alright. this way. And let's see. Yeah, we'll leave it like this for the moment. And so this means the pillar is going to be going something like this. Dink. Okay. And now it's got this kind of a relationship with the rest of the structure surrounding it. So I'll probably go like... something like this. Did I do something like this for the central pillar? Not yet. I'll get to that one later. Probably after I make the actual pipes or something. I might even just want to go like this, honestly. Well, I could also, like, actually use a cobblestone. Which also means bringing that out. Okay. And then... Well, because we can do something a bit more like this. Giving a steeper arch can help with, at the very least, it gives me surface area to work with for connecting to the corners. So I can have something like this going on. I think there's actual, like, you know, architectural application for this kind of a technique. I'm just not fully versed on what that would be. And mostly just going with, like, it at least looks like the castle can hold itself up structurally without the need of magic. Even if maybe to some degree it kind of does anyway for using magic. Let's see, and then... We probably have light fixtures up here to some extent. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a doable thing. Yeah. I mean, I could also make this steeper to match. Oh, right, and I can also do this. That might be head hitting though, so maybe not. Yeah, see, it's at least 4 blocks, so should be fine with that kind of steepness to it. I'm not convinced. Keep it simple. All right. I'm thinking I've usually been doing red around like, you know, spots where I was like having fire implemented in some capacity. I think, and also like red for the, you know, flow of power, like there. But I think in this context, especially since the actual power lines are going to be replaced with proper sanguinated water tubes, in this context, is going to be for a higher level of alert status. Because you know, if you got bad shit down here or something, you don't want it getting out. Granted, I'm not going to be having anything extraordinarily powerful down here, but you still get the sentiment. I might also want to do... Okay. Alright, so... I was not impressed with that idea. Okay. So we'll have the red lighting fixtures in here at the top. Can't really do the cobblestone on the walls again because one thick walls, but we can do it on the descending area walls. To an extent. Yeah, I'll go through there. This just helps break up the monotony of the regular bricks. And then add in oop, that's a little too high. Okay. So now I'll copy it at this layer. And then remember it's the same sort of, oh, it's not copy it just yet. Let's see. Accidentally punched there. So, okay. Alright, that's our point of reference for what layer we're on. So now we just kind of drag it to where it's right above that. And that kind of just solves it for us, doesn't it? Okay, but now I can't really just copy it further. And also, because gotta do this point here. I'm gonna have to attach the ceiling to where it continues downwards. So that it's a proper structure and not just like free floating stairs. I think I had it kind of like a free floating stairs before on the original Sunsword. To some extent, I've probably with like bracing supports, but yeah, here I think I actually want it to be proper enclosed. I remember it's a bit vague, but I definitely remember standing on like, you know, the light decorations and stuff I had at that point to avoid enemy aggro, because I was just like the original Sunsword was a designed experience. Trust me. I'm one of like 10 people who actually played it. Alright. So now we can just copy. Okay. So it's going all the way down now. And the staircase is going to end about here. also means we gotta go and do this. Can't do that maneuver in Minecraft. No, you keep ragging on and on about, you know, what Minecraft can and can't do compared to Hytale, which, I mean, they're two different engines. Alright, so let's see. So it connects to the wall about like that. I don't need the brick wall on this portion to be especially thick because it's already just kind of surrounded on all sides by stone. Instead, okay, it looks like I've got a staircase wanting to go that way. Let me see if I can just rotate it 90 degrees and have it be fine up here. So let's see. If I hit rotate, yeah, now it's going to be able to go out that way, and then up here. Okay. If I rotate it again. So it's going to want to go out this way now. Consumed by the wall once again. Wait, I'm already on rotate mode. What am I doing? Okay, so... Right, so that's blocked. And that one is... This one might actually be ideal. Possibly. Or maybe this way. We'll try it this way. Make sure that we can keep walking and everything. That the natural flow of movement isn't interrupted. Okay. Not in there. Yeah, so now we've got the complication of it goes all the way down here. Right. This might work out, actually. I don't know. It's just that this way specifically means it doesn't want to go out. But I don't need to confine it to being... We'll leave it at this current rotation. The main thing at this point is we'll come back to the dungeons when we figured out how we want it to unfold. I suppose is the best way to put it. Because, I mean, I am a little inclined of possibly having it go kind of how it did before. Just, you know, a bit better designed and not have 200 holding cells or prison cells or whatever for people to just try and sift through to rescue their friends from. But like, yeah, I think this does work out. It's just, oh right, let's not forget the actual lighting in here. So, let's see. Well, it's probably easier if I just put the lighting fixtures in like that. And then I could have the crystals mounted. Just mount them here. Oh. I might have to figure out the small crystals later. We'll just do the last bits of lighting and then probably check the time. And it's probably been close to an hour already. If not passing an hour. But yeah, we're gonna go with red down in here because, again, it's the highest alert color. And it's yeah, the atmosphere and ambience is kind of just where we're going with it. And I don't really need to continue the lighting much further on the pillar itself, because we're going to be able to probably surround it with other light crystals. Alright, so time is... oh shit, way overshooting. Okay, that's gonna be fun to upload. I do feel like I want to do a little extra... I think maybe I could go for small reds. Maybe. Or go for greens, yeah. I'll just do some light fixtures so that there is some amount of green or red, depending on where you're going. This will also help just give us color variety. Yeah, and down here it's going to be red. Because there's not much else I can really do to vary up the hallways than to just provide light crystals. I do want to have at least some amount of respite given to yeah, we'll probably do reds around here. Yeah, basically lining all the corners with green crystals so that there's some amount of rest you can get. Not that you're even getting crystal light inside the actual quarters. Worth pointing that out. Let's see, and then yeah, it's got it. So, yeah, super episode, I guess. Sorry it's going on so long, but we're almost done here. And then probably put in actually yellow crystal there for now. I'll probably figure out something in there, but it's just like, yeah. Could be a hiding spot someone uses if we're not careful. So greens here. Granted, this is a route where people may come down if they're trying to escape, but whatever. I don't really have anything over here. I might actually make this be not even especially high alert and put in a couple of benches. Just so that there's like something here. Oh wait, I could even like do a bookshelf. Just to have a relax area. Something to consider. Just gonna be hard to actually fit a table in there though. But I could do a shelf of some variety. Alright. So that's got some function to it. And yeah, just kind of have a general state of alert throughout any of the areas that aren't supposed to be restful. And you know what? Let this be a restful area too. And this can also be green, since like if you're coming down here, you're not really doing anything overly important. Alright. Put these back. Grab all these guys again, because we're gonna do it all over. Up here. Oh, here. It's still a bit of a, military kind of area, but you still need somewhere where you can just be a proper functioning human and take it easy for a bit, even in a military setting. That's why they, even in the military, they still have recreational activities they do. It may be a little different from you know, what you do as a civilian, but not always. Anyhow, so that's right. Let's get a door here. Could probably just a placeholder. You ate my. Which block did you eat? Oh, that one. All right. Well. We've got this area done. So how's about we take a seat and call it here. See ya, guys.